Hey guys, it is Nick here with another Nick's Topics Dragon Ball What If topic video for today. And today, we are getting into part 12 of What If Giran Became a Z-Fighter. Now to recap the last episode, we saw Beerus and Whis for the first time in Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Giran, making Beerus use just a little bit more power than he did against Goku on King Kai's planet. Hint, not a lot more. Basically, he still whomps them pretty easily, just with a tiny little bit more effort. But it's still notable that he is impressed by their powers. However, since there isn't enough Saiyans in this story because Vegeta's dead, that means that we don't get to see the Super Saiyan God versus Beerus fight. But Goku still gets the God form. It's just on Beerus's planet with training, sort of like Vegeta did, to get his God form, and it's later in the series, which means Goku's a bit less experienced with the godly potential. But not notable enough that it's a concern, just notable enough that it needs to be pointed out. Also, being the only other Saiyan besides Goten and the best strongest, Gohan gets the God form as well. And as for Giran, well, if you saw my last episode, you know that Giran is getting a pretty significant power-up and change to him as well. Looking into Giran's past and finding this power suitable for him, Beerus decides to teach Giran the Hakai and the powers of a destroyer, thinking that even if he is not strong right now, like he wasn't strong enough to beat him right now, if he masters this power successfully, he could be a good successor to the title of Destroyer. Anyways, Goku still gets the blue form, a little bit later, but still gets it, and Gohan gets the blue form as well. Also, we get into the introduction of Sorbet and Tagma and into the Resurrection F arc, where they are going to Earth to resurrect Frieza. Now, there are a lot of notable changes that I feel that I need to point out for this arc. One thing, obvious, Vegeta isn't alive. Also, Gohan is on Beerus' planet and not on Earth, so that's going to be a bit of a concern. Also, we are only going to see Frieza in his fourth Mega form the entire arc. Reason for that is very, very simple. In the original story, Frieza was cut to pieces and obliterated by Trunks, which in turn meant that he was restored by Tagma and Sorbet into his normal first form body. But since he was fought by future Giran, who didn't have a sword, and he was just brutally beat to death and killed, and his body was still intact, although very injured and then vaporized, but it wasn't cut to pieces, so he's going to be in his mega form still, which is going to change a lot. Also, his training is going to be a little bit more potent because of this. Also, since Frieza is in his mega form and fourth form, that means that Tagma's training is going to be a lot more severe, which in turn means that he almost dies many of the times training with Frieza. And Tagma's going to be a lot stronger. That's not saying much considering Frieza men, but consider how strong we saw Tagma and put that thought in your heads. Like a 10 times multiplier to that. Anyways, we get into Frieza and his men arriving on Earth, with a lot of them having not died on Namek, and just in general, and the 1,000 army battle beginning, with another few major changes. Tien is there, who is stronger. Yamcha's there because he's gotten stronger. Master Roshi, I feel, would be at the same level he was, if not maybe a tad bit stronger. And as for everybody else, Jocko is there, and he's just Jocko, nothing much to say. Krillin is there, and he's stronger than before. Piccolo is there, and he's stronger than the original as well. Basically everybody except Yamcha is there from the original, and Gohan is on Beerus's planet, as I said before, and the 1,000 men battle pretty much goes the same way, and they are easily defeated, with no senzu beans needing to be required. And we see a few familiar faces, Qui and the Ginyu Force, who have lived all this time and are ready to make everybody pay for beating their master before. Why did I not include them when Mega Frieza came to Earth the first time? Simple. I feel that Mega Frieza would be more preoccupied with vengeance the first time he came to Earth. But this time, with training and pre-planning ahead, I feel that Frieza would take the precautions needed and actually know about the Ginyu Force and Qui being alive. So I feel that this extra measure he would definitely most certainly take. Now, Qui, of course, gets killed rather handily. I feel that even someone like Roshi, not Jocko, I'm not going to go that far, would be able to take him out rather handily with only a power of 18,000, because I doubt that Qui would put himself through training. As for Guldo, his time stops and paralyzation moves do give him the edge for a moment, since this is the first time we see these guys in action, but it's still not a major concern, and Guldo is defeated rather handily. And as for Coom, Birder, and Jace, they don't really have much to offer in Dragon Ball Super. Even the humans are just too much for them, and they are beaten rather handily. Which definitely shocks Ginyu, not so much Frieza, as he thought himself that this would be a piece of cake. These are humans and an Namekian who are somehow able to best all 1,000 men, Qui, well, not so much Qui, and his freaking force. He then takes drastic measures into his own hands, seeing in particular Piccolo, who he sees to be the strongest. He knows that he has no other choice, and he knows that he most certainly will die if he does not do this. Using his body change technique, we get to see ourselves what it would be like if Ginyu successfully swapped bodies with Piccolo, having a hint of that in the Namek arc whenever Ginyu took Bulma's body and then was trying to do the same to Piccolo. So we get to see Ginyu Piccolo for the first time. Now, of course, Ginyu can't control this body, and it backfires on him rather handily, with in particular Tien and Krillin figuring this out for themselves and reversing the body change and then killing Ginyu. Piccolo, of course, after this, is injured and on the ground, but since the Earthlings and everyone did not have to use any senzu beans, that means that the first one goes to Piccolo, and they still have a lot to spare, unlike before where they all had to use one after the fight with the 1,000 men. Now, Shisami is up next. Not too much to say about him. His power level, I feel, would be the same exact as it was in the movie and in the DBS anime. So, with everybody working together against him, Shisami is beaten rather easily. Not just defeated by Piccolo and Gohan, because Gohan's not there, and Piccolo's stronger, and we have people backing him up. Now as for Tagoma, he is on a whole nother level. It takes every inch of power from everyone to be able to actually stop him, because this Tagoma is way more stronger. And when even Frieza sees him losing a little bit, he just offs him, because he did not expect Tagoma to be beaten by these guys, and when he starts seeing that Tagoma's losing ground, he just offs him. He's the only other man left. What other use would he have for him? So, Frieza then gives a rant about how he's not going to die this time, especially to a bunch of pathetic tricks. But before he can rant or kill someone ever more, Goku and Gohan then show up, with Giran also in tow. Frieza being completely confused because the last time that he saw this guy, he was in a blue cloak and he killed him. The first time he met him, he killed him with a bunch of other friends with sneak attacks. But before he can ran on anymore with confusion and anger, Giran throws a Hakai ball which connects with Frieza. He's barely able to register anything of what's happening, let alone withstanding even the small Hakai, because Giran is learned the destruction moves, but this is a small Hakai blast, not notable enough to actually do, like, lasting harm. Giran's still very much inexperienced. And just before Frieza finds the strength to knock it away, or be able to withstand it completely, he sees, just through a shimmer of the purple light in the destruction orb, Goku and Gohan about to fire a combined Kamehameha. And Frieza's thinking to himself, no, they're about to do it again. Kill him with some pathetic sneak attack because they know he's too strong. And just before the combined blast attacks him, he powers up into his golden form. We get to see for ourselves Golden Frieza in his mega form, which is definitely a lot stronger, and I feel that his power would be definitely equivalent to, like, Super Saiyan Blue Goku in the Universe 6 arc. So it's definitely notable enough to point out that he's much stronger. It takes Goku and Gohan at their full powers, plus Giran, who just then powers up with purple aura to even be able to withstand this new Mega Frieza, because he's just that strong. And Frieza, he's thinking, even out of a fair fight, he's still losing to these guys? And before he dies, he tries to blow up the Earth, but these three, they're not backing down. And Frieza is completely and utterly vaporized. Beerus and Whis arrived a bit while the fight was still going on, but a bit before it ended, so, like, kind of a mix-mash. And Beerus, in particular, is very pleased with not only Goku and Gohan, but Giran, his soon-to-be possible successor for the title of Destroyer, and how he used the Hakai powers and the aura. And the Resurrection F arc ends there, with a lot of things being changed, and a lot of cool things happening in the process, with the Z-Fighters getting good luck even without Vegeta. But a certain tournament between destroyers is about to take place, and the heroes might need more good luck than they can afford. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for the moment. So what did you guys think? Do you like the way that the Resurrection F arc played out this time? What do you think could have happened differently in your eyes? Do you think that Giran will master the Destroyer energy and become the next successor to Beerus? How do you think the rest of the story will play out without Vegeta's influence? Leave a comment, and I will see you guys on the next video.